The lawyer of one of the main accused in the Delhi rape case, Mukesh, wants the case shifted out of Delhi. He says that because of media reports and political statements, the judiciary is under tremendous pressure to hang the accused. The protests after the brutal gang rape was evidence enough of the strong public sentiment against the accused. But does this mean that a free and fair trial is not possible in Delhi? Well, as far as the protests themselves are concerned, the Chief Justice of India said that he salutes those who came together in solidarity after the horrific Delhi gang rape of that 23-year-old woman last month in a bus in South Delhi. But the protests, he believes, did seem to have been hijacked. We want to clarify that Justice Altamas Kabir's remarks are not in any way linked to the focus of our debate this evening on whether the case should be moved out of the national capital.
You also mentioned that it did take a political color later.
Yes, it did.
How do you see all of that?
Well, let me tell you, one of my nephews, he was also there and he also got beaten up. He was also part of the solidarity which everybody was showing. But at the same time, as I said, it seemed to have been hijacked. And then it took an ugly turn. Otherwise, everything was peaceful. Everything was being done in a very, let us say, a very, very peaceful protest the way it is normally done. Once other people start coming in, then things become ugly. I salute everybody who took part in that immediate, that reaction that took place on the very first day. I salute each and everybody. I wish I could have also been there, but I can't.
So I am a 22-year-old woman on the street of the national capital, and people like us look up to you to do something about it. What is your one-line kind of?
I see, personally, there's nothing I can do myself except try and appeal to people, appeal to the government, appeal to the administration, and also if there's a suitable case which comes before me, I can even issue certain directives. That is the limit of what I can do. But this is something which everybody needs to think of. What I have always been saying and what everybody else has been saying here is that you need to sensitize people, which includes our judges. It's not only a question of, say, sensitizing people who are other than that, who are in the, say, apart from those in the judiciary. We also need to sensitize our judiciary as well.
All right, the Chief Justice of India over there speaking to journalists, including NDTV's Sonal Mehrotra. Couple of important points. He said that there was outrage. He explained the context of the outrage. He says he understood the outrage which took place in the city, in the country, after that horrific gang rape in the national capital. But he also mentioned that some of the protests which happened subsequently seemed to have been hijacked. Well, the question that we are asking this evening, should the trial be moved out of the national capital? That's because there is now a petition which is out there on whether or not this should in fact go out of the national capital. We'll be joined in a few moments by M.L. Sharma, the lawyer of the accused. Also with us, Nandita Rao, advocate in the Delhi High Court, and Winnie Singh, executive director from the NGO Maitri. Thank you all very much for joining us. Winnie, let me come to you first. There was outrage in this city, indeed across the country, but the assumption that the courts would in fact be influenced, right, is perhaps just an assumption. I mean, the courts are independent of what happens in this country, and the assumption that somehow anybody can influence them, to a lot of people feel that you're demeaning the legal process in the court system.
Absolutely, I would agree with that, because courts are not going to go by hearsay or something. They don't get influenced by anyone shouting on the streets. They're going to go by evidence, what is available to them. They're only going to work with that. And they are definitely going to look at the merits of everything.
Mr. Sharma, why do you believe this case needs to be moved out?
In fact, we have a judicial system not to punish anybody. We have to punish only the really accused person who have committed the crime. Coming up to the conclusion that the person is really accused person, court need a perfect balancing manner to decide and evaluate the evidence without affecting any kind of the pressure, either from public or from politician or judicial authority.
But let me ask you this, sir. The Chief Justice of India today told journalists that he understands the outrage which people in the city felt after the gang rape.
Yes.
It's understandable. But then why do you believe that the courts would be influenced necessarily?
Court
They would evaluate the entire situation. I honestly don't understand why you would want the case to move
unless
out.
you will not
You don't trust the legal system.
No, sorry.
You don't trust the judges.
Don't put your word in my mouth. I wanted to say something, you interrupt in middle of that one. So, unless the evidence are not evaluated in a balancing manner, you cannot do justice with anybody. Justice doesn't mean only with the complainant, it should be with the opposite party. Justice for the both. And the judges, those are sitting.
Yes.
They are human beings. They are not computer that you are going to feed some data, the judgment will come out. And that the human being is always affected with the public demands, by the agitations, and even the political pressures also. You need a seat, you see the cases of Tandoor Khan.
Even assuming for, I'm sorry, I'll come to you in a moment.
You see in the case of the Tandoor Khan, the entire machinery itself becomes effective because of the political
But how
system.
do you assume that judges outside the city will not be influenced by using your own logic?
Yes, your question
this
is
not it's not a
your
Delhi
question
story.
Your question is absolutely correct. Here, if we put the sound continue on your head for a 2 hour, you will be the mad. Comparison to the person, those are sitting in the room silently. The question is about the effect of the mind. The mind will be always affected due to the sound. And in Delhi, since 17th onward, the sound is going so high. Every house is shouting this.
There have been
But
thousands
it is across India.
All right, okay, Nandita, come in
And
over
it
here.
is going
Your views
so
on this issue.
The moment,
what he's
the moment
asking
the
for,
judge will sit,
yeah.
the moment the justice will sit, he should not hear any kind of the sound.
But where will the sound come from, sir? It's an in-camera hearing, isn't it?
No. Now you are saying for in-camera hearing. You are asking at the last stage. I am talking you since the very initial
Okay,
stage.
fair enough. Okay, I get the point. I'll come back to you. Nandita, go ahead.
Okay, so I would not like to speak on the merits of this case because I think that is a media trial. This application is up for hearing and I don't think Mr. Sharma should be arguing his case on TV.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.